Good evening. I hereby call to order the action session of the Board of School Commissioners for the City of Indianapolis for November 19th, 2015. We'll now have presentation of the colors and the Pledge of Allegiance. The colors will be posted this evening, and it will be done by the color guard from George Washington Community High School. Junior ROTC Battalion members posting colors are Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Cruzita Hernandez, Cadet First Lieutenant Maria Alvarado, Cadet First Lieutenant Maria Gomez, Cadet Captain Robert Sowers, Cadet Private Chase Dotson. Cadet Sergeant Major Kayla Dotson will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise for the presentation of the colors. Mission granted.
Color guard, attention. Carry colors. Forward, march. Mark time, march. Colors first, march. Color guard, hold. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
order, march. Outward, face. Forward, march. Color guard, hold. Prepare to post. Post. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Forward. March.
Thank you to the JROTC Battalion from George Washington High School. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Commissioner Bentley,
Here.
Commissioner Cosby,
Here.
Commissioner Echols, present, Commissioner O'Connor,
Here.
Commissioner Odle,
Here.
Commissioner Sullivan,
Here.
and President Arnold.
Here.
Thank you, Secretary Echols. Okay, we'll now adopt our agenda for the evening. The agenda was discussed at our agenda review session on Tuesday and reflects the changes discussed at the meeting and the executive session that followed. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The agenda has been approved. Having adopted the agenda, we will now proceed with Section 2. If there are any groups in attendance that would like to be recognized, please rise and state your name and the organization you're representing.
Rosalind Cornett, President of the Indianapolis Education Association, representing the IPS bargaining unit.
Seeing no other groups, thank you very much. Okay, opening comments from commissioners are appropriate now. Commissioner Sullivan?
Thank you.
I've been able to attend lots of events in the past month celebrating teachers and new schools, and I've also been visiting several schools a week in an effort to get a quick overview of everything that's going on in the district as we move through the academic year. In addition to visiting schools, I've requested information about active parent organizations and special events at our schools, and I look forward to getting to know our IPS families across the district. And I want to thank those who have already reached out to me to extend invitations to participate. On Tuesday, the board listened to concerns from a tech student who did a great job of communicating and advocating on his issue. And I really look forward to the expansion of the superintendent's advisory councils to include student voice as called for in our strategic plan. So I just want to say that it's my hope that students like Christopher from Tech will step forward and participate in this new and improved opportunity for student voice. And just to note, this part of the strategic plan is supposed to be underway this spring. And finally, I just want to say I was able to test our new enrollment program with several parents this week, and I think that this new software, coupled with our recently approved lottery logic model, will go a long way towards addressing many of the concerns that we've heard in past lottery processes. So I know we'll probably hear later on about our showcase of schools and that information, but I encourage everyone who's interested in IPS schools to attend that event. Thank you.
Commissioner Bentley?
It has been a busy month. Last week we had our Teacher of the Year dinner and celebrated all of our amazing IPS Teacher of the Year finalists, as well as Amy Wackerly, our from CFI School 2, who was named the 2015 Teacher of the Year. I wanted to thank Commissioner O'Connor and Eli Lilly and Company for being our hosts that evening and in providing a wonderful dinner in a beautiful location. And special thank you to all of our teachers who work hard every day with our students. It was nice to be able to honor and acknowledge many of those teachers last week. I'm hoping that we can figure out a way to get those teachers their raises quickly because I think that they're long overdue, and so hopefully we can figure out a way to legally get that done. I went on a Mind Trust bus tour last week. The Mind Trust has these bus tours. I don't know if they're quarterly. George Julian School 57 was on that tour. I wanted to thank Principal Ashley and her team. They did a really good job presenting their program to the individuals on the tour. I also attended the Kids Dance Outreach program recital at Mary Nicholson Performing Arts Academy at School 70. The students did an amazing job, and this is a great program by an outside organization. Wanted to thank Director Michael Johnson for the invitation. Also attended the Veterans Day celebration at CFI School 84. There were over 36 veterans in attendance, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, uncles, dads, friends of students, representing all branches of the military in at least 4 wars. I spotted former IPS school board member and granddad Steve Hyatt, who was among the veterans at the event. It was a great program and really a wonderful way to honor our veterans. I wanted to thank Principal Christine Collier and music teacher Laura Bartolomeo for the invitation. Last week was one of my favorite events of the year, and that was the IPS Marching Band competition at Lucas Oil Stadium. Congratulations to Broad Ripple High School, who earned first place in the show style, and to Arsenal Technical High School for winning first place in core style. This year, the Spirit Award went to Crispus Attucks, and they did have a lot of spirit that night. I wanted to take a moment just to thank Music for All and Bands of America for sponsoring this opportunity for our students and for their continued support of IPS students and staff. I'd love to give them an opportunity to come to speak to the board about the many ways that they're supporting students and staff through programming, scholarships, and some of the other things they do. Earlier this week, many of us were able to attend the grand opening of the Simon Youth Academy at the Circle Center Mall. Thanks to Michael Durnell and his team from Simon Youth Foundation, the Simon family, and the IPS team for getting this school off the ground. It's a great space, and being there made me want to be back in high school, kind of. And I also wanted to thank Chris for his comments on Tuesday. I do think he did a really good job. I hope that he will also take the opportunity to make an appointment with, Principal Bacorn and discuss some of his concerns with her as well. And I'm excited about the student advisory that's called for in our strategic plan. But I also hope that our high schools all have student government and student advisories within the school. Student government, I think, is especially important and is a part of any high-quality functional high school. So I hope that all of our schools, and I don't know this, but I'm hoping that they all have student government. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Arnold?
Last month, there was a short discussion about the creation of an equity or a diversity group that will work with the district. And I'm going to turn that responsibility over to the administration, and they will be gathering people. So if anyone, I know a few board members have had some thoughts on people that they think would be good to serve on that, I would recommend that you connect with Dr. Farabee, and he will work on getting that together and moving forward.
Any other commissioner comments? Commissioner O'Connor?
Just to report, the recently formed Finance Committee met Tuesday afternoon at 5 o'clock prior to our prep meeting, and had sort of our formative meeting, discussed the charge, and we'll address in December, when we schedule a meeting, the finance or investment policies for the board, and hopefully have a suggestion back to the whole board relatively quickly with regards to that.
Thank you. Thank all the commissioners for their comments, and Commissioner Arnold's still recovering from laryngitis, so I'm sitting in this evening for her. We wish her a speedy recovery. Okay. Hearing no further comments, we're now moving to the public comment period. We'll now receive public comment from those who have requested to offer comments to the board. We have 2 individuals signed up to speak tonight. I'll remind our speakers that you're allowed 3 minutes to speak, and I'll ask you to quickly conclude your remarks when your time has expired. I will now call Mr. Clyde Chauvin to the podium to speak.
My name is Reverend Clyde Chauvin. I'm your Indiana State Regional Activist for Gang Violence for the state of Indiana. First, I want to say I thank you for allowing me to stand here in front of Dr. Farabee and the Board of Commissioners. It's a great honor to be here. A lot of people don't understand the vision from the corporate side, and I understand that being a leader myself among champions, standing as a champion. I'm here to be a voice for the parents and the children who cannot speak because they're going through what we say thunder in the streets. I will not discuss about what's going on with the children, but I will discuss the goal. The goal is this. I've been dealing with gang violence for 18 years. I've been dealing with children 29 plus years. Our goal as your Indiana State Regional Activists is to take the children off the streets who's real violent, the non-offenders between the ages from 12 to 18. I didn't come to complain, but I come with a solution. If you will listen today, I didn't come to with no complaints, but I come with a vision and maybe to be a breath of fresh air to IPS. I think personally that IPS is doing a great job. You're not a parent, you're educators. You're the biggest entity in the capital city of the state of Indiana. this vision that I stand with you today, I'm going to, after this, I'm going to be able to leave you with some basic information, some contact information for each individual. Our focus is Gary, Indiana, East Chicago, South Bend, Fort Wayne, Indy itself, and Terre Haute, and many other urban cities of the state of Indiana. Right now, Muncie is going through a lot of problems with their children as well as we. Terre Haute is called Little Chicago. Our goal is to have a 3-year campaign, starting here at home at the capital city of the state of Indiana. I come today to ask you and plead for the children and the parents who cannot get to you on this day or any other day, is to open up the floodgates for let us do a 3-year campaign at the different locations at the different high schools that we already have in location, bringing in volunteers for the parents so we can unite to help, not just to be mentored to their children, but mentored to other children. Because basically that we all know here today that the problem is not the school. The problem basically is at home. And this is what I do, and the team that I'm with, this is what I do. Today, right now, I will not talk to you about the program because the program is already set up. I come to you to talk to you about the vision. One of our visions is called Eagle Swoop Indiana State Regional Series. It focuses strictly on gangbangers from 12 to 18. And you say, well, Reverend, what are you going to do about the ones 18 and over? There is a strategy plan for that age group. But right now, the babies are important. They don't know, even though that you're educators, they don't know about Medgar Evers. They don't know about Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Franklin Douglass. It's good to know where you come from, but you need to know where you're going. I have worked on the Sheriff Department of Juvenile Center. I've worked for IPS and many other different great districts in this city. But the time is now. We need your help. And I'm asking your favor. I know it's protocol and rules and regulations that you have to do. I'm not asking for you to do that the team does, but I'm asking for you to open up the doors in the after school, not program, but needed to do this 3-year campaign. So, because you got children who's got a 3.0 GPA, 4.4 GPA, but at home, they can't focus. They can't do no schools because either the parents is on drugs or they're single. As you already know, the father then left the home. My job is deal with what's going on at home while you're doing what's at school. And I hope that we can unite on this day. I hope after this, because this is a national Indiana State Children's Safety Emergency. I'm not saying nothing that's not different, but I'm applying the act. If my words are not coming out clear because the passion I have to deal with the children day and night, being raped, molested, pulled off of human trafficking, dealing with drugs, whatever they can deal with. But I'm so proud of the school system. I really am. Y'all are doing a wonderful job, but y'all are not parents. So what I would like to do, maybe next week, if it's possible, Dr. Fairby and you and the Board of Commissioners, I'm gonna leave you some basic information that we can sit down and discuss administration for this goal and vision. Thank you so much for allowing me to come today. Indianapolis Public School Associates and the Board of Commissioners and Dr. Fairby, y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll now call Ms. Rhonda Lynn Cornett to the podium to speak.
Good evening, Dr. Fairby and School Board Commissioners. Last month, I spoke concerning teacher morale. I mentioned the attendance policy, which penalizes teachers if they take a sick day without giving at least 24 to 48 hours notice, even though sick days are granted through state law. I also spoke concerning innovation schools and the loss of employment to a huge number of people certified and classified. As commissioners gave their final comments of the night, one commissioner said, I understand this change, but we are doing and making decisions based on what is best for the students, not teachers. Well, I have to say, in actuality, what works best for students also works best for teachers. Because perhaps some of the commissioners may not be aware of this, but the teachers' working conditions are the students' learning conditions. I believe the young man said it best at Tuesday's school board meeting There are some problems at some of the schools. He described some poor teacher working conditions and some very poor student learning conditions that I will not let be laid solely at the teacher's feet, and this is out of the mouth of babes. When the students start expressing their concerns, you need to listen and not try to silence their voice. I have been informed that this student's voice was silenced at the school the next day, but what I would consider bullying or intimidation tactics. These issues tie into my concern about autonomous schools. The school will have the power to make certain decisions. Who is the school? Is it the principal only? If so, that is not autonomous. That is dictatorship. Autonomy is when a group of people, administrator, teachers, parents, business partners, and students make choices on how the school operates. That is if the school is truly about the students' learning conditions and outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Okay, we'll now move to vote to approve all the items on the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. I now turn the agenda over to the superintendent.
Thank you, Commissioner Odle. Good evening, Commissioners. Our first item on Section 5 is Treasurer Report. Any comments or questions in Treasurer Report? Next section is Section 6, which includes Superintendent Reports provided at our agenda review session on Tuesday, November 17th, which included a presentation on our graduation and dropout efforts, update on changes to ISTEP and timeline for ISTEP results, and then an update on Arlington High School. Any comments or questions related to any of these superintendent updates? The next section is unfinished business, which is Section 7. There's one item, again, remind commissioners that there was not a 30-day period between our October action session and our November action session. Thus, this item is for review only, which is a policy revision for Innovation Network School. Next section is section.
Just for that on the innovation policy, there's a public meeting. There's still opportunity for public input. There's a public meeting on Monday, the 23rd. Is that right? Julia Carson Government Center. And it's going to be facilitated by the NAACP. So anybody in the public who wants to come and hear more, it's is that at 6?
Yes.
6 p.m. Julia Carson's Government Center, November 23rd.
Thank you, Commissioner Odle. And again, these items will be brought forth in December where the public can also provide feedback on the proposed policy. Next section is new business. The first item is item 8.01. Recommend that the Board of School Commissioners approve the agreement with the Indiana University School of Nursing to provide our students with clinical experiences as presented.
A motion for approval of item 8.1.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion carries.
Next item is item 8.02. Request that the Board of School Commissioners approve the transfer of computer cards to IPS as presented.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion carries.
Next item is item 8.03. Request that Board of School Commissioners accept the 2015-16 grant for mental health center and schools for positive behavior support intervention as presented.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. The next three items are items that were added in executive session, and Superintendent will comment on those.
Thank you, Commissioner Odle. The first item is item 8.04, and the next is 8.05 that are related to compensation for employees. This board and administration has been committed to ensuring that our compensation is competitive. we're pleased to be poised to have an agreement with our AFSCME bargaining unit. The bargaining unit is continuing to work to ratify the agreement that was brought to consensus by both parties. What you have before you is a resolution to address compensation for those individuals not in the bargaining unit with the same principles that were agreed upon with the AFSCME bargaining unit. We ask that commissioners approve item 8.04, which is a resolution for classified personnel, and item 8.05, a salary resolution for certified administrators.
So moved. Are we doing both of them together?
Yes.
4 and 5, okay, so moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further comments?
I just want to repeat that I hope that we can figure out a way to get our teachers their raises as soon as possible. It's it's a concern, so I hope that we can get that done. We need to get that done, so.
It's a unanimous comment from all of you.
Yeah. And also, and I hope everything, I hope we can get some resolution on the AFSCME contract as well.
All those in favor of the motion to approve 8.4 and 8.5?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries.
Next item is 8.06, which is the sale of property. We're requesting permission to sell the surplus property of Otis E. Brown School 20 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further?
Recused from this vote, thank you.
We'll note that Commissioner Sullivan is recused from this vote. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Closing comments from the superintendent.
As shared by commissioners, again, want to just commend staff and community for several events that we had. Our partners, again, we echo the comments about Lily and providing the resources and the facility to celebrate our teachers. Really pleased with our partnership with the Simon Youth Foundation and opening of the Simon Youth Academy at Circle Center Mall. And also really pleased with our Hall of Fame, and it's a tremendous opportunity to recognize and induct 6 new members into our Hall of Fame. We also would just raise up, today is National Parental Involvement Day, which is a reminder for us of the impact that our parents have on public education and education here in our city of Indianapolis. And we continue to reach out and ensure that our parents are engaged in a part of the learning process to support our students, support them. On the compensation front, just would remind the community that, again, this board and administration has been committed to ensuring that we are addressing compensation for our employees. It is our hope as well that we're able to resolve the accountability results for our teachers that are impacting pausing the distribution of our pay and raises that we've agreed upon with the bargaining unit. But I will also remind everyone that we have been committed in such a way that if we look at the results of compensation from last year, what we're slated to do this year, and what we agreed to do next year, over a 3-year period, the district would have invested over $20 million in new compensation in our employees at a time when the district has seen a dramatic decrease in revenue from our state legislation. So I think it's an important milestone for the district and a statement that we value our employees and continue to be committed to raising up our most loyal and talented employees as they serve our students and families. Last reminder is our Showcase of Schools on this Saturday, the opportunity for families to come and learn about IPS and all that we have to offer. We'll have our magnet schools, our traditional schools, our innovation network schools, an opportunity for interested individuals that have interest in being a part of Team IPS to fill out applications, learn more about positions we have available. We have students that will be performing. We have services from Crispus Addicts, blood pressure checks, make sure everybody's healthy, and showing off the medical magnet program. And then we have our culinary students. I had lunch with them this week. I can tell you that they definitely know how to serve a meal and prepare a meal well. And then we'll have an opportunity to have IPS store. And so alumni can come in and purchase items. So it'll be a great day. Circle Center Mall. Got bus passes with Indigo, encouraging everyone to come out and again learn about IPS and what we have to offer.
What time does the showcase start?
It starts at 10 a.m. It's from 10 to 4 p.m. at Circle Center Mall.
Right. Be a real fun event. Okay, thank you, Dr. Farabee. Our next meeting will be our board winter retreat, Friday, December the 4th, from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. at Carl Wild School 79. This meeting is also open to the public. We stand adjourned.